Mouz recently brought 3 Academy graduates to the Major and even made it to the semi-finals with a win over Cloud9 that might have caused some of you guys to get one of these instead of that diamond coin. The new generation is always on the pulse, so I figured I'd find 5 lessons you can learn from their T side. But first, why not get a lesson from our sponsors, Leetify. Leetify is an improvement tool that gives you personalized feedback on your CSGO performance. The match page includes a detailed breakdown of your performance, including the rounds and how you gained and lost rating, and it automatically generates shareable highlights like this 3K I got on train. Yeah, that's the best I've got, but I'm sure you guys can do better. And there's also the progress report, which includes your rank progression, top friendly flashes and team killers, damn you Dinko, as well as the local legends you've queued with and your own personal bests. Best of all, Leetify is free and something I genuinely use. So sign up now with your email or Faceit account using my link in the description, and let's get back to the video. The first lesson is to not be afraid of going back and forth between the bomb sites quickly. This round is a perfect example of this, where Frozen is given the freedom to get an early pick towards Banana, but Mouz still have plenty of players towards A in this round. And so even though it's a 5v4 and a lot of teams would just try and play quote-unquote proper CS, once Frozen hears the flash into Banana, he figures there's probably 2 players towards B, and Mouz instantly respond by hitting A because they have a 4v2 over on this bomb site. And those weaknesses are found really easily. Once this opener goes down, the round is basically done. Again, we get a very similar round play out in this one, and in case you're wondering, yes, this scoreline is right. Mouz owned Liquid on this T side. But again, Frozen's able to find that pick on Banana, and this one really comes down to making sure this fake B execute with the smokes is timed well with being ready to go back to A. Liquid feel like they have to rotate heavily to B here because they don't have anyone actually seeing onto the site through these smokes. And then Mouz take their timing window by largely just grouping up together towards A, and, well, I guess if you can kill people through smokes, that helps too. They were even able to do it here on Ancient, which is obviously a map where the rotations are much bigger between the bomb sites. This opening fight on mid was huge in this round. Exertion somehow wins this one against Hobbit. And by the way, look at this from Hobbit's POV and slow it down. He actually dinks Exertion first and then lands 2 more shots through the wall, which somehow don't get the kill. That is a 99 in 3 and a real tilter for Hobbit. But moving on in the round, it is this mid control that allows Mouz to get this pick towards A, and once they realize it's the rifle of Shiro towards A, well, they still have Frozen back towards B holding for control. They still have mid control as well, so they know the CT's information will be lacking after all these nades have gone onto A. And that makes it easy for Frozen to sneak into B, Dexter to sneak into top mid, and for Mouz to just fully control the rotations in this round. So don't be afraid of just running back as a unit to your lurking player, especially in rounds like this where you've already got a couple of kills. The second lesson is to use the power of silence against the CTs. In this round, for example, Liquid have taken a gamble stack towards A with 4 players, but because Mouz make no noise with flashes or steps towards Banana, Liquid have no way of knowing that they need to rotate a second player back to B. If there was a flash thrown, perhaps the rotate would have arrived, but instead, Liquid have no way of defending this bomb site, and this play from Dexter is even more cheeky as he gets Nitro on the edge of the smoke. Here's another round where Mouz sneak up long quietly, confident that their AKs would win any fights that were given to them, and that means there's no response for Liquid once this push comes in from long, because they're not necessarily expecting Mouz to be this far up without having made any noise. And it also means when you're this far up, you can really limit the CT positions and put this beautiful flash over to the site to make these kills even easier. It's also worth pointing out this works especially well if you can make sure your opponents don't have money for an AWP. In this round, for example, Torji is just dry peeking top mid instead of using any utility, which is standard, and that might throw Liquid off slightly as OC towards long stays committed to this angle, the AWP's able to peek into him, and then look at all this ground that is gained because Liquid don't have any chance to respond without any early information. Exertion gets into CT spawn, And Mouz honestly just slowly suffocate all the oxygen out of this bomb site, taking as much time as they need to trade onto the site because the CTs can only be playing so many positions. And this is another round where they get into a great advantageous spot. The third lesson is to be prepared for CT aggression at the right time. And this is something you can really get a feel for the more you play. Here in round 8 is a great example where Liquid have basically not gone for banana control in this entire half. So Dexter is literally standing with a flash ready to help Frozen. Frozen extinguishes this molly at the back so he can peek ahead of it, and it is time to perfection as the flash comes in, and Frozen just goes ahead and takes them down to Funky Town. And you already know Frozen is the funkiest on the server. Here in this one, Liquid have the aggressive app setup, so this is a pretty standard flash from Mouz to make sure if there are any CTs here, you get the chance to have a favorable fight, and the info is gathered. What I really love, though, is how Mouz use this info. JDC now knows there were 2 in apartments, so there's probably only going to be 1 man in top mid, and he likes those odds, taking that fight with the AK. It gets him an opening kill, and he also gets all the way up to long, which is so much value in this round. You're going to see as it plays out that he is able to use his position proficiently in the later round, and it's another example of how simple information can make a massive difference. Here over on Ancient, again, it's another example of just having that utility prepared ahead of time for aggression, which is quite common for CTs. Torji this time throws the flash over, which helps them win these early fights and just handle that early CT aggression. This is something you can even do in the mid round if the time is right. In this one, Mouz lose the bomb in Donut, down in a 2v4, and so instead of trying to force a play themselves, Frozen just waits for a mistake to be made. He hears Nafni flanking, he gets that easy kill initially, and then it also helps when you have a player like Frozen who is just such a capable aimer. You're going to see as the round plays out, he does absolutely everything to come back from this 2v4, and that's going to transition us nicely into our 4th lesson. The 4th lesson is that sometimes you're not the main character. You're going to have to be the side character if one of your teammates is having a good game. You're better off just letting him work. In this Inferno match, for example, Frozen was winning so many fights on Banana. And so, if you're the A player, instead of trying to force fights over in the apartments early, for the first 30 seconds at least, you probably should just let Frozen work his magic. And you can see here, they have players behind Frozen in case he needs assistance. But in this round, he's happy to take the fights dry and just win them. Or in this one, Frozen doesn't go in first this time, but instead trades his teammates, and it's the deep utility in these smokes that unlocks the ability for him to have a pop-off round. So really, it just comes down to sometimes facilitating your top fragger or your best player rather than always trying to take the full load of the burden yourself. It may sound simple, it may sound easy, but you'd be surprised how many players, once they're in-game, always feel like they have to be the ones making the play. And the final lesson you can learn is that it's always nice to have some early round tricks you can use to get the man advantage. These are especially good when you're in a rut and you don't really know what to do. This round is a good example where Torji has perfect crosshair placement lined up so that once someone starts spamming on that right side of the wood on Banana, they are going to get domed without any chance to do anything in reply. This one is more of a standard 1-for-1 early on Banana, but it comes down to seeing this smoke thrown by the CT from behind the CT smoke. And as soon as they see that, they figure they are in good shape. And while you might not call this a trick, it's still something nice to have if you see the opportunity present itself early. Here in this one, Torji throws this smoke, which extinguishes the CT molly, and I guarantee you, if you use this in MM, it is much less likely the CTs will flash you. You will have a really good chance to get an opening pick if the CTs like controlling mid like this. And then finally in this one, Mouz have that molly which goes towards Donut, and because C9's molly is late, Torji is comfortable peeking top mid, and he gets his team another entry. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed this one, why not check out this video over here on Exertion and his aggressive rifling fitting into this Mouz roster.